ever have those rainy days where you're stuck indoors, or perhaps there's a major pandemic sweeping across the globe and you're looking for something to just let you chill, soak in some pleasing aesthetics, vibe with some relaxing music, and play something that doesn't require a huge time commitment? Then you, friend, have clicked on the right video, as I will be talking about 5 games that are great for a rainy day or mandatory quarantine. And no, Animal Crossing isn't on this list because everyone and their grandmother is already playing it. I don't think I need to tell you about it. Let us begin. Assemble with Care is a story-driven puzzle game developed and published by Utswo Games. You play as an antique restorer named Maria and follow her time in the beautiful, sunny town of Bellariva. During her stay, she meets with some of the residents, but what started as odd jobs quickly turns into a heartwarming tale of mending relationships and holding on to memories through sentimental possessions. The game is very short, coming in around 1 to 2 hours to finish, but it's quick to make you care deeply about its characters and their lives. The story is told through journal-like entries from Maria, but also in the small details of the objects you fix. Gameplay is simple but extremely satisfying. You need to pull apart and fix various knickknacks, and they get more and more complex as you go on. But don't feel pressured, there's no time limit, no punishment for making mistakes, and you get lots of hints. The art style is gorgeous with its very painterly style between both the 2D and 3D. The music is soothing with a great mix of ambient noises depending on where you are. The voice acting is very natural and the sound effects are outstanding, from the click of popping something back into place to the little tink of small metal pieces. The game is available to play on PC and Mac, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a great story that you can finish in one sitting. Coffee Talk is a pixel graphics visual novel barista simulator developed and published by Toge Productions. You play as the owner and sole barista of a small coffee shop called Coffee Talk in a world where both humans and fantasy creatures roam the streets of Seattle chasing their dreams. One of your regulars, Freya, is currently trying to write a novel but is struggling to come up with a good idea. Over the course of a few days, you meet with a host of characters including Lua and Bailey's, a couple currently in the midst of drama due to their families being against the interspecies relationship, Officer Georgie, a local cop who likes to take extended breaks in the shop, and Aqua, a computer graphics researcher at the university. You follow along with everyone's stories from the perspective of the strange barista at the coffee shop that's only open at night. Gameplay is quite simple. You need to make different drinks depending on the customer's preference. Or you could also make the wrong drink, that's always an option. If you've played Valhalla, then you'll be right at home here, as they are basically the same system. But Coffee Talk lets you make latte art with a mouse. Yeah, it's actually kind of difficult to do well. Visually, the game is very pretty and the sprite work is quite well done. The characters are very expressive and have really solid designs. The setting of a coffee shop during a rainy night is an aesthetic I will always find amazing in most situations. And of course, the music is great with a good mix of lo-fi beats and jazzy tunes. While short, the game is a slow burn and definitely one to play if you just feel like kicking back and relaxing. The game is available on PC, Mac, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Florence is an artistically charged interactive fiction game developed by Mountains and published by Annapurna Interactive.
Oh yeah, you said it right that time.
Shut up. Anyway, you play as Florence, a 25-year-old woman, and follow along her very mundane daily routine. One day, however, she hears beautiful music being played by a man named Krish, and eventually the two begin dating. You follow along and experience both the good and the bad times of the relationship. I won't go into too much story, as the game is only about an hour long and the story is the main focus. Gameplay is a mix of very simple minigames ranging from piecing together conversations to picking emojis while responding to a text. It's all very easy but works well with the game's storytelling. I adore the visuals in this game. The webcomic styled panels and the softer palette make the game very pleasing to look at. The music is the biggest standout. It's easily become one of my favorite soundtracks. The soothing cello and piano are perfect, and the shifts from light and airy to dark and almost sinister are amazing. The game is available on PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and the Nintendo Switch. While it certainly isn't for everyone, I definitely recommend it if you want a short story to experience during a rainy night in. A Short Hike is a 3D pixel graphics adventure game developed and published by Adam Grieu.
You're on your own for that one.
You play as Claire, a young bird who has travelled with her auntie to Hawk Peak Provincial Park to spend her time off. She's waiting for a very important phone call, but her aunt tells her there's no reception and the only way she'll get any is if she makes it to the top of Hawk Peak. Claire then treks around the park, meeting various other characters and trying to find golden feathers to help her reach her goal. The game is part platformer and part adventure game. You'll be jumping, gliding, swimming, climbing, and collecting a lot of items. This game also has fishing, so you know it's good. The very colourful cast will give you tasks to complete, ask you to find something for them, or challenge you to a parkour race. There's a lot to do on this little island. The art style is very unique to this game. 3D pixel graphics isn't something too common nowadays, and the simple character designs and very vivid colours are a feast for the eyes. I also love how each area of the park has a distinct look and feel. The music is simple and heartwarming, but changes to a more mystical tone the further up the mountain you get. A lot of time there is no music and just the ambient sounds of nature, which are just as welcome. Overall, A Short Hike is a game that you could easily spend a lot of time in to collect everything, or just play through in a couple of hours for a quick burst of entertainment. The game is available on PC and Mac. Path of Giants is a cute puzzle game developed and published by Journeybound Games. You play as three little explorers on a trek to find the Land Tree, a treasure hidden by the old kings on the Path of Giants. And that's basically the story summary. Aside from the small bits of dialogue between the explorers, there's not too much to unpack without spoiling anything. The gameplay is broken up between two types of puzzles. The first and main type is trying to get your little friends to a certain spot on the level. You need to move them around so that they can get where they need to be without getting anyone stuck. They can use each other to climb up ledges, and certain buttons and platforms can only be used by a certain explorer depending on the color. Once you get through a few levels, you come across a door where you need to solve a pipe style puzzle by having all lines connect with the three different points. The game is very forgiving and will let you know if you've gotten someone stuck, and you can undo without any penalties. There's definitely a good amount of trial and error, but it never gets frustrating. The visuals are adorable. A very wintry palette with the very blocky environments makes it easy on the eyes. The little explorers are just so cute, and you can choose different colors for them. I love the music with just how light and simple it is, fitting well with the cold ancient backdrop. Path of Giants is a very fun puzzle game that wants you to take your time and not rush things. Its simple story is a great hook, and the game doesn't drag on too long. The game is available on PC, Mac, Android, and iOS. So those were 5 games perfect for a rainy day. I do hope you found something that might have piqued your interest. And if you have any suggestions, I would love to check out more. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope you have a relaxing day.